Well, good morning and welcome to the iFiber Rink here in Wenatchee, Washington. This morning, it's the Wenatchee Wilderness U16 Club taking on the Seattle Sno-King Thunderbirds in the first game being played here in Wenatchee this season due to COVID restrictions. For the Wenatchee Wilderness, they are in the white uniforms defending the net off to my right-hand side. Logan Weber plays it in the neutral zone, backhands it up along, but it'll be collected by Seattle back in their own end. The Seattle roster was not provided prior to face-off. However, they're working on it as we speak, and I'll have names for the Seattle players here shortly. Looks like Matheson, if I'm getting that correctly, advancing for Seattle, but he's offside. And so we get a whistle, just 17:29 showing on the clock, and I didn't get a chance to check out beforehand. I suspect we may be doing 3 18-minute periods. Face off out in the neutral zone, picked up by the Wilderness. Greg Kagan slides it along, and now it's chipped off the left boards, down by Luke Pizzi. Into the left corner, Seattle recovers, and they'll work it up along the right wing wall. McCauley has it, cross-rink pass is played on the left side into the corner, check thrown there. Well, now I've got a roster for Seattle. Thank you very much to that parent. Wilderness pick it up, tipped along out of midair. McCauley gets it back down in front, shot, and a leg pad save is made brilliantly by Zaus Landry. What a stop there. A 5'9", 145-pounder out of Richland, Washington came up with a big save with the left ankle as he pushed off to the side and negated that grade A opportunity for Seattle. That was Connor McCauley with the opportunity. Face off to the left-hand side of Landry. And into the corner it goes, zipped around behind the Wilderness net. And it's Strider ball on the far side, ahead for Anselmo. On the right wing, he'll gain the zone, hits the brakes, turns, tosses it back to the right point. Slid over to Jensen, one-timer, partially whiffed on. He recovers, sends a wrister in on net, and that'll be swallowed up promptly by the goaltender for Seattle. And I believe that is Grant Liang, who's getting the start there for the Thunderbirds. Now, they are intending to play 3 games this weekend, and last I heard, we're still looking to try to find referees for tonight's 7 p.m. game. Of course, with all of a sudden Washington opening up and having hockey all over the place, referees suddenly becoming a premium. There's only so many of them, and everybody wants to have a game. Can you blame them? Not me. Strider ball tried to play it, poke checked away. Seattle can't clear the zone. Wilderness holding it in, and it's chipped out, bounces out through center, and it'll be recovered by Ethan Bacchus momentarily, dumped back into the Seattle zone, and it looked like a possible tripping call, but it wasn't blown. And the puck held in nicely on the near side by Summers. Promptly cleared by Seattle, but that's going to be an icing call, and with 15:58 on the clock and a scoreless first period, we'll head back down to the Thunderbird zone. For the Wilderness, it's Logan Weber standing in across from Wes Hatz. Wilderness control back to the right point, sent off the boards and zipped around, back along behind. Near side held in Lutz at the left point. Moves it down to the half boards. And the battle continues on the near side. Cycling up is Weber, but fighting for it there with Paulson of the Thunderbirds, and stays inside the Seattle zone momentarily, eventually collected by Hatz. He backpedals. A lead feed was intended for Paulson, but that missed the mark, and that's going to be another icing call against Seattle. So back to the Sno-King zone we go with 15:30 on the clock here in a scoreless first period. Today's game being brought to you on demand on our YouTube channel through the Wenatchee Wild, the parent company of the Wenatchee development teams. The Wild dormant this season. A COVID casualty. There's a shot and a tip on the way through, but a nice stop made by Liang. And we got a quick whistle, and an ensuing face-off will follow inside the Seattle zone. To the left-hand side of the Seattle netminder, Luke Pizzi stands in to take the draw for Wenatchee as he lined up across from, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. On the right-hand side, Seattle moving their way into the Wenatchee zone. Getting it back to the point, Matheson holds it in, slid across, and then chipped off the left wing board. Centering feed misses the mark, though. Seattle will have to regroup in the neutral zone, and they'll do so. Pass to Matheson on the near side. Tried to split the seam, but got broken up. Edmondson picks it up. He spins, lobs it through center, comes bouncing down into the high slot area. A check thrown there by Jensen toward the net. Landry with a flat paddle slapped it aside. And into the corner. It's driven off the boards back to the point where it's played by Brendan Young. Move down low. Backhand pass up the middle. Intercepted by Wenatchee. And carving his way up on the near side, Spencer Stenholm will throw it off the left wing boards in deep. Liang stops it behind the Seattle net. Angled up but not out. Eldon Connor Jensen into the high slot. His feed was for Strider ball. That got intercepted though, and then backhanded back out of the neutral zone. Re-advancing though, Stenholm on the left side, but offside whistle against the Wilderness as Strider ball was just ahead of the play over on the far side. 14:15 on the clock, scoreless first period. Brandon Young standing in across from Logan Weber for the face-off in the neutral zone. Yanked back into the Wilderness zone, played by Jensen. Jensen slides it around behind his own net. Lead pass on the wing. Aaron got blocked. Shot from the point, though, is deflected and careens all the way back down into the Seattle zone. Thunderbirds will chase it down there. Chiseled off the wall on the far side by Cole Wilmert. Wilderness hold it in. High slot stepping in. There's a shot taken there. Flutters in towards the net, and Liang will hang on to it. So another face-off pending inside the Seattle zone. Cohen Wood with the opportunity there for Wenatchee. Off the draw into the Seattle zone deep in the corner. It's going to be picked up and raced through center by their captain, Brendan Young. Young tries to dance in around the D, loses the puck though, and grabbed by Braden Snell for Wenatchee. On the left side, here's Kagan. He dumps it off the left wing boards. Slides around behind. Luke Pizzi chases after it. Chipped off his blade. Pizzi continues to battle and zings it down low into the corner. Jason Dua is there, and a centering feed is picked up, and Pizzi's backhand attempt, rather, that was Kagan's backhand attempt denied toward the net, where it's steered aside by Landry. Seattle gets it back over to the right wing boards, where it'll be played by Dominic Wolf. And then behind the net, Wenatchee regains possession. Their outlet feed on the right side. Carving his way up through center is Roman Templeton. Slapped in. Flat sides off the glass. Wenatchee getting a change on the fly behind the play. Seattle up through center. Wolf ahead to Cruz, and that's off his blade. Back to Wolf once again. And turned over. Here's Stenholm advancing back through. It's kind of a one-on-three as he angles to his left. Centering feed. Deflects Anselmo with a shot. Just goes low and wide. Wrap around a temper behind. Blocked and picked up high slot. There's a shot and another save made by Liang. Whipped in on net by Gabe Kindren, but Liang turned aside three great opportunities in short order. Puck bounces back out to the neutral zone. Hacked at up along the near side board by Lutz. Cruz for the Thunderbirds, checked there by Stenholm. And then Wolf backhands it into the Wenatchee zone. It's on net. Landry was forced to play it, thought about covering it up. He'd actually kind of poked it out of his own reach. And Max Cruz was bearing down for Seattle. There's a shot and a score. Seattle gets on the board first. And that was Nick Savage. That gets the goal. A wrist shot that beats Landry on the glove side. Time of the goal, 6:06, we'll call it. Here, period number 1. 1-0 Seattle leads it. With a nice shot from between the circles. There's Cohen Wood for the Wilderness on the right side. Up through center, poked off his blade. Will Summers pursued, but couldn't hang on to it. Back out through center, Connor Jensen will handle it. Jensen slides it over to the right side for Cage Ballard. And then driven deep inside the Wilderness off to our right-hand side. Jensen chases it down, backhands it up the near wing, but not enough to clear. Forced in back down low. Nice aggressive forecheck on the far side by DJ Ivory for Seattle. There's a backhander, and Landry with the stop. Another backhanded attempt, flung wide. Jensen behind the net to Cohen Wood. Wood's bumped. Help arrives, but not enough to clear the zone. Still in the corner to the left of Landry, up top midpoint, but mishandled there as Brady Bordeaux was there, and I think he was looking up to where he was going to shoot it, and the puck eluded him. There's a shot which Landry will turn aside into the corner back behind the net. Now Jensen has it, hits the brakes, backhand dish up the middle, comes back out to center. Dua there for Seattle, sends it right back in. Wenatchee looking to regroup out of their own end. Roman Templeton bumped on the far wall. Wenatchee can't clear. Dish down low, far side. And playing it there was Jimmy Zeisel for a moment. Now centered, but misses the mark. Held in midpoint by Blake Matheson, and then back around down low behind. Cleared by Wenatchee out through center. 1-0 Seattle leading it. 10:05 on the clock. Pass through center as the Thunderbirds looking to break out through center. Leung over on the right side has it. Bang across, shot and a score. Cole Wilmert. And it's now 2-0 Seattle. Time of the goal here is going to be 8:03. And I believe it was the captain, Brendan Leung, that will get the assist. 2-0 Seattle, first period here in Wenatchee. There's a big hit thrown right in front of the Wilderness bench, but Stenholm's going to gather the puck. He's surrounded by dark blue sweaters, however. And Seattle will recover and pick it up back in their own end. Over to the left point, Bacchus with a shot, and a careen to Stenholm, but his one-timer patted away. Into the corner, Ball has it. Tried to work it back to the point, but that's intercepted. Here's McCauley through center. Tried to put it through the boots of Bacchus. Unsuccessful, however. And still muscled into the zone by Seattle. Dished out front, but swallowed up by Landry as he squeezes the pads together and hangs on to it, settling for the defensive zone draw. 9:14 on the clock here in your opening period. Seattle leads at 2-0. Goals from Nick Savage and Cole Wilmert. Those goals coming just about 2 minutes apart. And there's a quick whistle after the face-off to the left-hand side of Landry. The opening minutes seem to be slanted the Wilderness way, but in the last few minutes, it's definitely been Seattle who's bringing the accelerated pressure. To the left-hand side of Landry, back to the point. Matheson will bang it back off the right wall, rimmed around over the left side. Savage pushes a little deeper. Wenatchee has it, and they do get it out to center, but it'll be regained by the Thunderbirds there. Back into the Wenatchee zone, spinning and clearing is Gabe Kindren. Lobbed back into the Wenatchee zone. Wilderness look to regroup there. Pass ahead, picked up by Cohen Wood as he carries it into the zone, but as he advances it, Matheson regains possession, and the Thunderbirds able to clear it back out through center. Dumped ahead. Teams changing on the fly. Picked up and carried into the zone on the near side by Ballard. Ballard hits the brakes, but then he's stripped of the puck, and back the other direction goes Wes Hatz. Dumped off the left boards into the Wenatchee zone from behind the twine. Pushed back around, but no one there in a white sweater. There's a centering feed, deflected away. Guided toward the net, but intercepted by Wenatchee once again. Nice lead feed for Templeton. Here's Roman Templeton up along the near side. He's in, hits the brakes, cuts left. In front, forehand shot, tried to go top shelf. Rang it off the elbow, off the iron, and into the mesh, out of play. Nice shifty move by Templeton coming down the left side. Caught the pass out of his zone, and a little shoulder shake coming down the left side. Worked his way down around the left circle, came in on the forehand. Tried to pick the top corner blocker side, just rang it off the pipe and up out of play. Offensive zone draw pending here for Wenatchee. And Spencer Stenholm standing in. Gets the draw back to the point. Now tossed in front, Stenholm shot, and that one denied by Seattle. Here come the Thunderbirds. It's 3-on-2 developing as they advance into the zone. Rister goes low and wide off the end boards. Held in by Jimmy Zeisel at the far point. He moves it down low. Wenatchee regains possession. And as they try to clear, Stenholm is able to knock it out through center, but runs into Leung. And there's a pass, and Wenatchee pretty close to too many men on the ice, but they're going to kind of let that one fly. And then lobbed back out through center in a clearing attempt. Wilderness do have it, and they'll flutter it ahead. Matheson gloves and drops in his own end. Backpedals, forecheck pressure on him, courtesy of Will Summers. 2-0 Seattle leads at 7 minutes to go. First period. iFiber Rink here in Wenatchee, Washington on a Saturday morning. Puck jammed back around. Wenatchee working up the left wing wall, not enough to clear, fluttered toward the net. Landry reached out to glove it, but it was out of his reach. Wilderness looked to try to clear once again, but it's going to be held in. Left side, Dua for Seattle. Down low to the corner, Young gets it punched off his blade, turned over and handled by Wenatchee. Logan Weber had it for a moment, then zipped over to the near side. There's Bacchus. He'll slide in, lobs a bouncer in deep, peeling off on a change. Forecheck pressure by Wenatchee on the near side as Templeton pursues. And Max Wilkinson all over his tail. Broken up and lobbed out the center. Nice open ice check there. Thrown by Gabe Kindren as he stood up Cole Wilmert right at the blue line. A good solid open ice body check. Wilderness with the puck, back across near side. At their own blue line, touch pass, give and go, comes back on the near wing. Chiseled ahead, intended for Kagan, but it was out of his reach. Into the Seattle zone, lobbed back out. Wenatchee tags up, and completing a line change is Stenholm pursues with forecheck pressure. Dug out by Leung for Seattle on the far side. Hacked off the boards through center. Connor Jensen handles it there. Jensen's pass picked off by the advancing Cruz. Here's Cruz on the right side, but he'll be muscled into the right wing corner before he can get a shot off. It looked like a potential 2-on-1 was developing, but well defended by the Wilderness in their own end. Out of the corner, then back behind the net. The pass ahead for Strider Ball. Ball out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, a late addition to the Wilderness roster. Older brother plays in the development program as well, Rivers Ball. There's Cruz on the right side. There's a shot across the bow and into the opposite corner. Wenatchee gains possession. Ball has it, turns, backhands it off the wall. And Seattle in the midst of a line change finds it on their stick. They re-enter the zone, come up on the near side, drop pass to the point. There's a shot. That got blocked. A high rising shot from the point by Wes Hatz. And the Wilderness regained possession. They try to clear, but that hits a skate. Takes a fortuitous Wenatchee bounce, and they regain possession in their own end. 2-0 Seattle leads at 4:23 to go, first period. There's a bouncing puck picked up by Wenatchee. They come on the right side. Bacchus tries to curl around. He's going to get hugged and tugged, and we'll get our first penalty of the game. It's going to be a holding call on Blake Matheson. A delayed call as the Wilderness with the puck. Far side shot tipped on the way through and just wide into the corner. Matheson cranks and clears. That'll bring the whistle. And our first power play opportunity of the game for either side. It'll be a holding call on Matheson at 13:55 here of period number one. So first power play chance of the morning. I guess it's almost afternoon. Nope, still 11:30. So we'll see what the Wilderness can do with the power play here. As face-off blocker's side. And promptly cleared by Seattle. The Wilderness doing a good job on the back check, but there's going to be a slashing call that will negate the power play. So we're going to have some 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute 49. It's great work by the Seattle forward to really force the issue there. Late to the party, basically the second back checker was Kindred, and he'll get 2 minutes for slashing. I think it was Jimmy Zeisel who was leading the forecheck there. Time of the penalty here will be 14:07. They'll call it a slash. It was probably an unnecessary one. But we're back to 4-on-4. There's a shot and that deflects, but Landry's able to cover it up. Hats with the shot after the clean face-off win by Seattle. Hit a deflection on the way through and changed directions, but right to the blocker of Landry, and he was able to cover up on it. Off the draw, flung toward the net, stick save Landry into the corner. Templeton picks it up there and moves it on the left side. Greg Kagan advances through center. Backhand chip off the left side, he'll pursue himself. Cruz battles along with him, rolled out. Intended to be a centering pass, but Seattle regains possession. Brendan Leung, the captain, hacked off his blade, and penalty coming here, and it's going to be a holding call. And now a power play is coming for Seattle as Roman Templeton is going to head to the box. So Templeton for a holding. We'll see 4-on-3 hockey for the next minute 20. 14:35, time of the call here, so two penalties coming 28 seconds apart against the Wilderness, and now they find themselves in just short order going from a man advantage to being down a guy. DJ Ivory carries it in. Wenatchee defending the goal to our right. Thrown back to the point, backhanded along. Ivory on the right side, zips it down low. Back to Ivory again, into the circle, shot, blocker save, rebound cleared, not out. There's a shot, and that one stick to side as well. The Wilderness look to clear, can't get it out, held in left point. Zipped over for Ivory, he winds, fakes it, throws a low shot along the ice. Landry made the stick save, and then successfully cleared off the boards all the way around, down to the far end of the ice by Connor Jensen. The goaltender Liang sets it up back behind his net, leaves it there, and now ahead for Cruz on the near side. Cruz up the right wall, works his way in deep, then drifts back, top of the circle. He's in, he looks, that shot goes off the body of Bacchus. Leung tried to spin a shot through, but that got blocked away as well. Nicely done by the Wilderness, a couple of big shot blocks. Up to the point, fake pass, Leung with a shot, Bacchus eats that one and sends it wide, and then pushed back around behind the Wenatchee net. Seattle regains possession. They work it around into the left wing corner. They'll hit the brakes, and now it's a 5-on-3 for the next few seconds. Backhand shot, blocker save made Landry, but he couldn't cover the rebound. Cleared, not out, held in by Seattle right side. And now it's a 5-on-4 as the first penalty expired. Kindred out of the box. Templeton in there for another 15 seconds before the Wilderness will get back to full strength. 2-0 Seattle leading it. They're still on the man advantage. Leung up top for Wilkinson. He takes a look, thinks about it, cuts to his right, then zips it across to the left side. Dua winds, that shot knocked aside off the end boards. Penalty over, Templeton out, teams at even strength. So the 5-on-3 yields nothing. Still a 2-0 lead, however. There's a backhand. What a save by Landry. Boy, after the wraparound stuffing attempt, there was a juicy rebound out front, and will look to be an easy tap-in with a wide-open side. It was denied as Landry got that left leg pad across once again. Big stop there as we're down to 1 minute left to go here in the opening period. 2-0 Seattle on top of the Wenatchee Wilderness here at the iFiber Rink in Wenatchee, Washington. Puck cleared the length of the ice, so be blown down for icing. Trying to beat the wrap was Connor McCauley, but no dice. Seattle asking how it could be icing when McCauley was leading the charge to play the puck, but face-off nonetheless is going to come back down into the Seattle zone. Spencer Stenholm standing in to take the draw. Got pushed around. Savage can't clear, held in Jensen. Jensen had it, but poke checked away, again to the right point. Now it's held in by Cage Ballard. Strider ball, right wing, guides it back to the point. Ballard looks, wrister blocked on the way through. Careens over for Jensen. Jensen down the left boards, angles back to him. He'll cut to the midpoint, looks, his shot blocked. Getting in the way, Dominic Wolf. Cleared but not out, held in by Ballard right point. As wrister through traffic, save made, and the rebound punched just wide on the glove side. Into the corner, cycling around, Stenholm drops it back off. Jensen in deep, final couple of seconds, roll down front, shot on, a save made, and that brings us to the horn as the first period comes to a close. Time to drop the puck on the second period. Seattle with a 2-0 lead after one period of play. Wenatchee will defend the goal to our left-hand side. And quickly the puck gets chipped up over the glass and into the protective mesh. Well, for the first hockey game in Wenatchee in quite some time, with the restrictions on attendance and whatnot, there's still, I don't know, there's got to be at least 60 people in here, which is nice. Of course, the restriction is we get an icing call there. The restriction, I think, is 125, and that counts players, staff, officials, the whole 9 yards. So, but as it turns out, I mean, there's the iFiber rink here. It's comfortable. It's nice. Sure is nice to see some hockey. The home folks are hoping for a little better outcome. But for our friends that have made the trip over the mountains, they're off to a good start with a 2-0 lead. So we get a personnel change. I'm not quite sure what that was about. Well, it's Wes Hatz for Seattle, taking the draw against Luke Pizzi for Wenatchee. Puck behind Landry's net. And ahead for Pizzi. Pizzi endures a slash, works his way through it. Off the left boards, he'll chap it in deep off the wall. Blake Matheson was back to play it there for Seattle, but can't clear. Right wing corner. Aggressive forecheck for the Wilderness, but he can't hang on to the puck. It's going to get chiseled away. Slapped out through center. Picked off, though, by Kindren out in open ice. But backhanded back into the Seattle zone. Bouncing puck is the Wilderness in the midst of a line change. Kindren sends it down low and sealed off on the end boards was Pizzi. Centering feed across, broken up, can't clear though. Ballard held it in for the Wilderness. Then across where Kindren will backhand it in deep. Max Wilkinson to play it back behind the net for Seattle. Tries to work it up the near side, but the Wilderness with forecheck pressure, keep it in down low. Templeton tried to get a centering feed there for Stenholm. It got deflected away back to the right point. Shot sticked away by Grant Liang. Back behind the net, Wilderness with it. Spinning, shooting is Stenholm. Goes wide, still alive at the side of the net. Backhand dish as Jensen tried to roll it out front. He ends up getting it back. His wrister from the circle. That sails wide into the right corner. The Wilderness keeping the pressure on. Ballard. His shot through traffic, broken up, and fired the length of the ice. That'll be a quick icing call against the Thunderbirds. And we'll get a face-off back in that end of the ice. Just about 2 minutes into our second period. And a 2-0 lead for the Seattle Sno-King Thunderbirds. This face-off on the right wing side for Wenatchee as they attack left to right here in this opening period.
It's a little scared back there, so.
Or opening period, it's the second period. I think I went into autopilot for a minute there. Backhanded off the glass. Kicked in by Ball. He keeps it in the zone. Now to Jensen. His wrister. Save made. Loose puck bounces around midpoint. Jensen gets it back again. Whips it over to the right side. Stenholm had to get the puck to lay down for a moment. If he'd have been able to snap the one-timer off that I think he initially envisioned, might have had a pretty good shot, but the puck sort of took a weird hop off his stick, and by the time he got it to settle down, that gave Liang opportunity to get back over and hug the post, and the shot out of play. Logan Weber standing in across from Leung. Comes back to Snell at the right point. That wrister looking for the tip attempt in front was Weber, but it got blocked by Seattle, and they're back through center. They gain the zone over in the right wing. Connor McCauley got it deep into the right wing corner. He's bumped off the play. Leung throws it up top for Dua. No shot over to Leung, left corner. Back up top, Dua, wrist shot there, deflects away into the corner. McCauley turns it back to the right point. Wrister there, deflects, and that sails up off the boards. Leung back to Dua. They continue to work it around the perimeter, and coming in was Summers looking to try to pressure the shot. Dua got it through, and it got deflected in on net, and Landry was able to swallow it up. .15:09 on the clock, early going. Second period, 2-0 Seattle on top. The Wenatchee Wilderness on the left side, defending the net to our left. Comes back to the point, gets held in by Matheson. There's a shot and a nice pad save again, made by Landry. Centering feed out of the corner from Leung, and that was broken up. Templeton turned it, got it back through center, but then re-advancing was Seattle. However, a nice back check for Wenatchee. And the puck tied up in front of the Seattle bench. Over the right side, Leung comes out of the pile with it and muscles it just low and wide. Back to Leung again. Now Matheson at the point. That shot blocked by Lutz on the way through. And over the right wing boards, Nick Savage, who had the first goal of the game, sent it back around behind. Behind the back dish, give and go. Back to Leung on the near side. Cross-ring feed to the point, and it tipped on the way through. It was actually Lutz who was trying to defend, ended up deflecting it on net. Can't clear it back to the point. Almost poke checked away there by Kagan, but Dua did a good job to keep possession. That shot ripples off the outside of the twine. Leung grabs it on the near wall. He spins, tries to dance out front, liberated to the puck by Pizzi. 3-on-1 was developing, but it got poke checked away. Back into the zone offside are the Thunderbirds, and with that, a whistle and a neutral zone draw coming, 13:55 on the clock. Second period, 2-0 Seattle leads it. Spencer Stenholm for the Wilderness takes the draw. It's right up in front of the benches. Fluttered along, they carried in on the left side. That wrist shot zipped low and wide by Stenholm. Ballard right point. That shot blocked on the way through by Cruz. And he'll lob it out through center for the Thunderbirds. Picked off by Ballard and dumped back into the offensive zone for the Wilderness. But they can't maintain possession. Savage, his cross-ring feed over the right side, picked up and carried by Dominic Wolf. Intercepted, however, by the Wilderness, and they'll try to clear on the near side. Can't quite get it out of the zone. It's going to come back down low into the corner, off to the right-hand side of Landry, but the puck, I think, may have popped up and hit the mesh. So we'll get a face-off again inside the Wenatchee zone. Check that. I think we got a penalty here. It's going to be a cross-check on Savage, so Wenatchee's going to get a power play opportunity here. Their second of the contest. This one comes at the 4:44 mark here of period number 2. The first power play that Wenatchee had only lasted, 22 seconds before it was negated by the slashing call on Kindred. So face-off moves out of the zone as a result of the penalty, and man advantage for the Wilderness. We'll see what they can do with it here as they try to cut the lead in half. Entering the zone, Logan Weber, far side, hits the brakes, gives it to Jensen, drifts midpoint, shot, tipped on the way through, and into the right wing corner. Turned back along behind, over the far wall up top. Jensen again, plays catch with Weber. Weber spins, midpoint Jensen once again. Across the umbrella near side, there's a shot, and Anselmo's opportunity was steered away, and then promptly cleared the length of the ice successfully by the penalty-killing Thunderbirds. Minute 22 left in power play time. Wenatchee down 2-0. Logan Weber out of his own end, a big right-hander. Cuts to his right, smacked off his blade by Hatz. And then deep inside the Seattle zone. And boy, the Wilderness, too many guys on the ice, and did they get caught? I think they did. So their power play opportunity once again cut short by a penalty on their own side. Too many men on the ice coming at, we'll call it 5:44. Here of period number 2. So we'll skate 4-on-4 for 60 seconds, roughly. Puck inside the Seattle zone. They spin to try to clear, can't get it out. Wenatchee with Lutz, Stenholm, Templeton, and Kindren out in this 4-on-4 situation. Pass moved ahead. Templeton steps into the zone. He's in, and we get a whistle. Actually, the scorekeeper blew the buzzer. And I'm not quite sure. I think they sprung a guy. No? I don't know what the deal is. Wenatchee still has a guy. Each team still has a guy in the box. At any rate, Wenatchee will control. Summers had it. It's punched back out to center, so the Wilderness regroup. Braden Snell near side. Chipped along. Weber has it. Sidesteps an attempted check. Picked up by Seattle, and they'll move along through center. There's Hatz on the right side. Has to drive wide on Bacchus. Wool comes around back behind the net. Goes down hard on the inboards. And Wenatchee able to clear it back out through center, as they are now officially on the penalty kill for Seattle. This is their third power play opportunity of the contest. They've all been somewhat abbreviated. No one's had a full 2 minutes yet. 2-0, Thunderbirds lead it. 10:55 to go, second period. Puck lobbed through center. We play 3 18-minute periods. There may be an ice cut between the second and third. I don't know for a fact, but I suspect there might be. I do see the Zamboni in position. Seattle advancing out of their own end as they move right to left, dancing into the zone and hitting the brakes on the near side, and then curling to the backhand was Justin Freeman. But the puck cleared by the Wilderness and down to the far end of the ice. The penalty for too many men on the ice has been successfully killed off. Stepping out after serving it was Greg Kagan. So 5-on-5 even strength. Seattle looks to work through. Kindren tried to throw a body check, but didn't quite connect. Ooh, and there's a big hit thrown on the near side as Kagan got tattooed by Ivory. But we get a whistle. And we get a face-off back down in the Wenatchee zone. Well, that was a big hit by Ivory. So Logan Weber will stand in for Wenatchee. He'll take the draw to the right-hand side of Landry. Shot, save, and a score. Dua unloaded. Landry got a piece of it, but it went off, looked like it went off his shoulder and up into the top part of the net. Clean face-off win back to Jason Dua, and I think it was deflected, and I think it hit something before it hit Landry, but it finds the back of the net. Seattle now leads it 3-0. Big blast from the point. 8 minutes and 8 seconds here of period number 2. Matheson whips it around in his own end. It's chipped out to center. Launched back in by the Wilderness. Back out through center for a moment. Wilderness regained possession and backhanded in, as it'll be lobbed in deep by Braden Lutz. Strider ball, right wing, tipped away and then out through center. Racing after it, but unable to get to it is McCauley. And McCauley trying to hop in around the back-checking Bacchus, and they're going to get him for it, I believe. Yeah, McCauley was hustling down. He was trying to get to the puck, and Bacchus was there as well. And McCauley kind of grabbed a hold of him and tried to hooky bob his way around him, but unsuccessful. So we're going to get a power play opportunity once again for Wenatchee here. 8:52, time of the call. McCauley for holding for Wenatchee, their third, make that fourth power play chance. And they still have yet to have a full one. Each time they get a power play, they end up taking a penalty of their own, which negates it. Trailing 3-0, they could sure use a jolt here. Weber sends it down low. Pizzi up top, Jensen, quick wrister, snapped in, save made, puck loose, rebound is punched but fluttered at, and it was unable to be buried into the top corner. Jensen had it, but he gets poke check past him. Here's a shorthanded break for Ivory, and he's got help over on the left side. Centering feed off the skate, puck loose, and picked up by the Wilderness on the near side. Summers up through, a little behind the play action, but nothing developing there. Boy, a great opportunity there, and Landry came up with a monster stop once again. Jensen feeds it over to Anselmo on the left wing. Bobby Anselmo through center, gains the zone, hits the brakes. Wenatchee in a bit of a line change. Seattle able to punch it out through center, though. 55 seconds left in power play time. Roman Templeton cuts to his left into the zone. Wolf's on his tail. Templeton stops short, feeds it back up top to Kindren. Kindren back to Templeton. Swung over across seam to the right wing wall. Then slid back around for Cohen Wood. Wood back up high. Give and go back to Templeton. He shoots, and it's off the glass. Right wing corner, Braden Lutz with it. Lutz smacks it back around behind. Seattle wants to clear, can't get it out. Held in by Templeton at the point. He's in, crossing feed near side. Lutz his wrister. That goes short side wide. Off the glass, back to Kindred at the left point. 10 seconds left in the power play. 3-0 Seattle leading it. Second period shot by Cohen. Off the glove of Liang. Stays in play on the inboards. Turned around for Kindred in the right side. Centered out front, but Wood couldn't get a shot off. And now here's McCauley, and he's out of the penalty box with a purpose to the backhand. He's in front, but his backhander rolls wide and off the inboards. You could tell he was out of the box with a purpose. Here's Kindred up on the right side. He's in with shot, stick save made Liang. Both teams back at full strength. 3-0, Wenatchee trailing. Puck rolled out front, picked off, and then a shot by Summers, and a save made by Liang. Grant Liang with a big stop there. As tensions rising a bit here. There have been some big hits and some big plays, some great opportunities. We've seen some skill moves at both ends of the ice and some great play by both goaltenders. Seattle goals coming from Savage, Wilmert, and Dua. 3-0. Seattle on top. 6:36 to go here in period number 2. From the iFiber Rink in Wenatchee, Seattle with a 3-0 lead here in the second period. All right, we are back after our ice cut, and we'll start off with Wenatchee on a power play. Here's a quick wrister by Jensen, and that's off the glass and out of play. So starting off this second part of the second period with the man advantage for Wenatchee. As Nick Savage is in the box. Off the draw, it's Jensen. He'll sling it over. Weber back to Jensen. Midpoint shot just goes wide. Tipped back out in front, and there's a shot and a score. Bobby Anselmo. The initial shot went off the inboards, careened back out in front, and Anselmo in the right circle with a wrister blocker side on the far pipe and in. And Wenatchee on the board with a power play tally coming at, we'll call it 11:43 of the second period. Bobby Anselmo. Power play goal, and that's his 5th of the year. Wenatchee with the puck. It's going to be Braden Lutz. Feathers it ahead, but that pass picked off. Summers gets a stick on it, deflects it away. And now icing is whistled against Seattle. We'll head back down to the Thunderbird zone for the ensuing faceoff. I'm not sure who's going to get credit for the assist on the Anselmo goal, possibly Jensen and maybe Weber. Face-off, left-hand side of Grant Liang. Wrist shot taken there by Braden Snell, and that deflects. Goes wide into the corner and chiseled back out. Team's back at full strength after the power play goal. Templeton and that shot tipped, and a pad save made Liang. Cleared not out, held in left point. Moved back down low by Ethan Bacchus, and that shot gets tipped, rolled out in front, and pushed just wide. Gained once again for a moment by Seattle. They'll get it out through center on the left wing into the zone. Shoveled back down in front, shot, and a save made Landry. Templeton's going to pick it up over on the far wall. Backhanded along, Snell picks it up right in front of the Seattle bench. And the right-hander will angle over to the right side and step in, but offside are the Wilderness. Stenholm was coming on the ice on a line change, but his place on the bench where he is on the wrong side of the blue line. So as soon as his feet touched the ice, he was offside. Stenholm wins the draw back to Jensen. Poke check there. Wilderness slap it back in. 3-1 Wenatchee trails. We're in the second period. And feathered along on the right side by Anselmo. Gets it in deep. Clearing attempt unsuccessful. Held in. Anselmo moves it over, but Seattle's going to grab it and then chip it along back through center. And eventually muscle it in deep into the Wenatchee zone. From behind the net, the Wilderness work up on the near side. Cage Ballard, lead feed, is behind Anselmo. Fired back in, icing negated. They're testing the fire alarms, and I think that's why the referee blew the whistle, possibly. But I know that there's a crew that's testing in the building, and they've been doing it all morning because I've been here since about 8 o'clock, and that crew has been here. So they run through a series of tests and progressions, and so with the lights blinking and the siren blaring, the officials choosing to go check it out and see what the deal is. Of course, typically they'll find a way to run these kinds of tests when they think nobody's around, but 11 a.m. on a Saturday morning, I guess they thought that that might not be a bad time, but turns out a little different. So I guess they've come to understand it's just a test. They're not going to worry about it. They're just going to go ahead and drop the puck, play hockey. That's what we do. Off the draw, lead feed off the stick of Summers, and they'll get toppled in neutral ice. Loose puck gathered by the Thunderbirds, lobbed back out to center, and chased down over on the far wing by Summers. Back to Jensen. He gets bumped as he feeds it along in the left wing. Summers tosses it down inside the Seattle zone, off to our right, back to the right point. Gets held in there by Lutz for a moment, and then cleared by Seattle back out into the neutral zone. Jensen wanted to work it along, but now it's picked off and back the other way. Nice move by Wood, but lifted right off his blade, and careening puck all the way through center, gathered finally by Templeton. He's in, he shoots, and a shoulder save made by Liang. Templeton gets his own rebound, works back behind the net. Thinks about going low to high instead, hits the brakes. Curls it back down low into the corner. Pursuing with pressure was Luke Pizzi. And then cleared around, but not out. Cage Ballard holds it in, left point. Feathers it off the wall. Seattle looks to clear, can't get it out. Cohen Wood, high slot. Wants to slide it over for Kindred, instead gets it back. Cuts way wide to his right, in from a steep angle. That shot steered away, backhanded along by Seattle, can't clear. Kindred, his shot deflected as Zeisel was there. Now he's out picking cherries at the far line, but the pass is off his blade, so no icing. Roman Templeton does a good job of hustling on the back check. Feeds it up on the left wall, and Stenholm gets it into the zone. Thrown off the left boards, spins around into the corner inside the Seattle zone. 3-1, Wenatchee trailing with 2:37 to go here in our second period. Seattle in the dark sweaters, hustling on the back check is Strider ball. Backhand feed, rolls around back behind the net by Seattle, and now here's a potential 2-on-1 developing, at least a 1-on-1, and there's a shot. Liang makes the save. Stenholm was driving up the middle over on the left wing. I believe that was Greg Kagan who was carrying the puck into the zone. And I don't know if he didn't sense Stenholm coming along or if he just felt that he had a lane that he liked, but his shot was denied. Grant Liang, good-sized goaltender. I don't have the stats on him, but I would guesstimate he might be 6'2". There's a shot, goes right through the crease area and off the skate of Strider ball and deflected wide. Bacchus has it poke checked away, and now out the other way, here's Connor McCauley on the right wing. He'll carry it deep in the corner. His centering feed, though, got broken up. Ball flutters it back ahead, and McCauley on the back check seals off Anselmo. Then it's to Stenholm. Left side, he's into the zone. Forced deep around back behind by Matheson. And into the corner it goes. Battle there. Wilderness had it back behind the net for a moment, but then it got taken away. And feathered back along. Over to the right side, 3-on-2 as Seattle enters the zone. And instead, they'll just flutter it off the right boards in deep. Puck pushed up along the near side, but not enough to clear. Got held in by Wilkinson. He pitchforks it along deeper into the corner. Brendan Leong is there, and his shot goes wide. Back to the right point. Thunderbirds hold it in. Muscled in deep. Bacchus banks it off the end wall, and Wenatchee will break out on the near side. Here's Summers through center. Cuts to his right. In deep, hits the brakes. They're changing on the fly behind him, so nothing but dark blue sweaters in the neighborhood. They'll come away with it. And feathered over on the right side by Ivory. Ballard hustles back to get to it, though. Gets a little help from Cohen Wood. And he'll twirl it along for Jensen, and then eventually Summers. And that'll find its way deep into the Seattle zone where it'll be blown down for icing. 38 seconds, all that remains in the second period. Seattle with the first 3 goals of the contest. Goals from Nick Savage, Cole Wilmert, and Jason Dua. And Bobby Anselmo with a power play goal for Wenatchee. Gets the Wilderness on the board, but that's where it sits. 3-1 Seattle with 38 seconds to go, second period. Wilderness bank it off the boards to get it out through center. Cage Ballard up the left wing, gets it in. Ivory chases it down for the Thunderbirds, whips it around, and Jensen was winding up for the one-timer at the right point, but it never got to him. Seattle up through center, pass ahead is for Cruz. He's into the zone, shot deflected away. Jensen plays it off the back wall, bangs it off the near wall, but then Dua has it. He got bumped there, and Seattle fans looking for a check from behind, no call. Jensen in, tries to get a shot at the horn, and the buzzer sounds before the Wilderness could get the shot off. Jensen was barreling down the right side, and heading right up the middle was Logan Weber. And the shot never was taken. Weber's opportunity had found the back of the net. The buzzer had sounded, and Jensen, I think they were hollering from the bench at him to kind of give him a heads up, but he ended up sliding it over for Weber and just ran out of time. But nice opportunity there at the horn, and for the Wilderness, maybe a little momentum to build on as they head into the third period. We'll take a quick break, and we'll be back with that face-off to start the third period after this. This is Wenatchee Wilderness Hockey on YouTube. Puck drops, third period underway. The Wenatchee Wilderness trailing the Seattle Sno-King Thunderbirds 3-1. And the Wilderness defending the net off to our right-hand side in the white sweaters. Puck poke checked away, and here come the Wilderness through center. Logan Weber on the near side. Weber's in, curls, and couldn't get the shot, kind of rolled off the end of his blade. Clearing attempts picked off and held in is Kindred. He finds Weber's shot, and a save made there. And that is secured and held by Grantley Ang. Boy, a turnover opportunity, and Kindred set up Weber, and he got a good look, good shot, tried to go high blocker side, but Grantley Ang with another big save. Both goaltenders have really looked good today. Face off to the left-hand glove side of the Seattle netminder. Luke Pizzi is there, and it gets flung down low into the corner. Templeton tries to dance out front, tried to drag it through the skates of Boudreau, but unsuccessful, or Bordeaux. Here comes Seattle up through center, and Bordeaux plays it on the right side, throws it off the wall in deep, rings around back behind the net. Cage Ballard reverses direction and sends it along. Feathered up the boards, but not out of the zone. Connor Jensen chases it down behind his net. Ballard comes along, but can be stripped away by Seattle and thrown back to the point for Ivory, but bounced off his blade. He gets on his horse on the back check and was able to dance away from Templeton and finds his way through traffic, flicks it along, has Paulson. It's a 2-on-0, and the shot off the post. From the left side, it turned into a 2-on-0 break, and he rang it off the iron. Now the puck out of play, we'll get a stoppage. Well, a great chance there for Seattle to try to extend their lead as they're up 3-1 here in the third. It's first of 3 games on the weekend. They'll play again tonight at 7, and then tomorrow morning again at 11 a.m. Banked off the boards. McCauley has it on the backhand, but it's poke checked away. Strider ball. Tried to advance, but he got knocked off his blade as well. Play continues. It's over the right shoulder of Landry. And handled by Wenatchee. Can't clear, however. Deep into the right wing corner, and held in Matheson. Jammed along by Bacchus, who got it out for a moment, but then back in. Seattle keeping the pressure on. They work it down low, but Wenatchee with the puck. Over to Weber, and Weber slips out of his corner with a pass for Ball. Then back across, but as they tried to feed Anselmo, it ended up being picked off. And Wilmert leaves it for Matheson. He's in, shot, stick save made. Back to the left point. Shot there, and that whistles wide across the top of the crease and into the corner. Cleared successfully by Wenatchee here, however, looking for a line change and a breather with 15:14 on the clock here in the third. Off the draw, back to the right point. Seattle unable to hold it on size, so they'll regroup. Wilkinson worked it across, but nice forecheck pressure from Templeton. He steals it away, but gets knocked off his blade by Bordeaux. as he tried to hustle down the left side. Templeton does like that angle. He'll flutter it back along for Pizzi. Then back up top to the left side. Lutz has to recover in neutral territory, and he works it over where it'll be dumped back in. Kindred has it. Puck still alive. Now Templeton in the corner. Throws it back to the point for Ballard. Ballard dances away from Freeman. And then back up top. Now to Templeton. Poke checked away from him, though. And Freeman trying to get away for a breakaway chance, but it just doesn't have enough speed to catch up to it. And the puck finds its way to the corner off to the right, but there's going to be a penalty here, and it looks like that may go against Wenatchee for a cross check. And Seattle just took one in retaliation. So what was going to be a power play, it looks like will likely end up 4-on-4. Started out as a cross-check penalty against Wenatchee, but Seattle took exception to it. And so I believe we're going to see 4-on-4. For the Wilderness, it's Roman Templeton. It's in the box. The officials discussing it with the captains. For Seattle, it's Justin Freeman that'll go to the box. Penalties coming at the 3:50 mark here of period number 2. But they'll offset 2 minutes each. And we remain actually 5-on-5. Templeton got the initial penalty for the cross check, and then Freeman got up, didn't like it, and leveled one of his own. There's a shot, and that one just gets snapped high and wide. Wilderness can't clear. Over to the right side, that'll be picked up and carried through, along by Summers, but he got ridden off the play. Weber fights forward in the right wing corner. He hits the brakes there, backhands it along, back to the right point. Ballard with a shot opportunity that's blocked on the way through. Seattle can't clear yet. Second opportunity, and it does come out through center. Ballard will chase it down, and Jimmy Zeisel pursuing. The Wilderness able to come out through center. Ooh, and there's a big hit there. And as Kagan got run into the boards on the near side by Ivory. Loose puck in front, and it's covered up, still alive, and then a whistle. And covered up by Grant Liang. He was in position, made the initial save, but the loose rebound was sitting in front of him, and so no whistle came. Eventually, as the Wilderness tried to get a stick on it, it was covered up successfully. Face off to follow inside the Seattle, off to our left. Pizzi, Kagan, and Wood up front. Bacchus and Snell are back for the Wilderness. Wes Hatz takes the draw for Seattle. Bouncing puck in the circle. Shot off the outside of the post on the stick side. Pizzi fights for it there. Tossed back out in front. Deflected away. Bacchus will guide it over to the right wing corner. Bordeaux is there, and it gets knocked out to center. Bacchus backpedaling, moves it across. Stenholm is there. His feet ahead, goes off the skate of Weber, and then back to Stenholm, or Cohen Wood rather. Stenholm pursues. Back to Bacchus, who holds it in at the left point. Wood throws it out in front. There's a snapshot taken there, and that one goes wide as Anselmo, who's got the lone goal for Wenatchee. Tried to punch that one along. Still inside the Seattle zone, dancing out of the corner. Stenholm feeds it across. Down low, a bit of a hook behind the play, but the puck's going to trickle out, where it'll be covered up by Liang. And we'll get a face-off. inside the Seattle zone. There's 2 seconds left in those coincidental minors. They'll stay there until the first stoppage after the clock runs out. And they'll be available to their teams once again. Stenholm to take the draw across from Leung. McCauley checked there, but the puck trickles out to center. And Selmo over to Kindgren, and then to Stenholm. Up through the middle, Stenholm tried to dump it in, got deflected away. Then Anselmo on the right wing wall, muscles a little further along. Strider ball, battles for it. Seattle still can't clear. Pinching down Anselmo, jammed around in behind the Seattle net up along the near side wall now. Ball with a centering feed, it's picked off, and Seattle able to get up through center. There's McCauley on the far side, tries to get in around Wood, shot and a kick save made, rebound, backhander and another glove save made by Landry. Boy, McCauley did a great job getting a good burst of speed coming down the left wing. Went in front, got the shot, Landry made the save, and there was a spongy rebound out front. The second shot opportunity stabbed by the glove hand of the Wilderness goaltender with 11:22 left to go here in the third period. 3-1, Seattle leading the Wenatchee Wilderness. Back to Wilkinson, and then over on the far side where Brendan Leung, the one-timer, didn't really get all of it. Back through center, Cage Ballard on the far wing for Wilderness. Gets it in deep. Wood with a centering feed, intended for Summers, broken up. Can't clear. Weber shot blocked, and the rebound careens through center, and Ballard back to play it. Nice work on the back check, but now did we get too many men on the ice? No, we got an unsportsmanlike conduct on Summers. So Summers not happy with something that occurred behind the play, and he's going to spend a couple of minutes in the box as a result. So Seattle will get their fourth power play chance of the contest. .7:05, time of the call on Will Summers. Seattle 0 for 3 on the power play this morning. I think each of their first 3 power plays have been partials. Wilkinson dishes it over to the far circle. They wanted to go low to high, but Ivory wasn't there. He was still deep in his own end. Comes back, drop pass midpoint. Wilkinson, that shot blocked by Kagan off the ankle. And then to Ballard, and he's inside in the corner off to the left of Landry. Seattle works it up top midpoint. One-touch pass back across, far circle, shot, tipped and a stick save made, and it's up over the glass and out of play. A couple of crisp passes by Seattle, setting up that opportunity. Minute 23 left to power play time. So to the right-hand side of Landry, the puck drops. Seattle controls, clean win, held into the blue line, batted down. Matheson sends it across, mishandled for a moment. Snell trying to work it along, but Seattle gets it back. Dug out and flung into the Wilderness bench. Bacchus was trying to use the wall to clear the zone successfully and got a little too much under it and lofted it into the bench. Puck drops and it's flung around behind the Wenatchee net. Off the near side, out of the reach of Matheson. Gathered by Hatz, and he'll take off on the left side. He comes in, gets a centering feed off, but Bacchus broke it up. Still alive back behind the Wenatchee twine. Seattle working around the perimeter. Matheson with a one-touch pass back down low. Gets it up top, right point, and plays catch at the half wall. Back to Matheson again. He'll swing it over to the top of the left circle. Shot by Hatz, blockered away Landry into the corner, back up top left point. Hatz, one-touch pass, flung down, and that one also turned aside. Seattle continuing to work it around the perimeter on the power play for another 15 seconds. Hatz with a one-timer. Didn't get all of it, and it rolled into the right wing corner. Seattle still with possession. Penalty expires as a shot on Landry is covered up. And as the puck drops next, Wenatchee will be back at full strength. Off the draw, Leung has it, tries to feather it out front, but sails wide, comes back to the point. Wilkinson keeps it in the zone, bangs it off the right wing wall, in down low. Back behind the net, it'll be handled by Wenatchee there. Reversing direction, moved up the boards, and tipped by Templeton. Not quite enough to get out of the zone on the first attempt or the second attempt, and then the third attempt eventually lifted up further and out through center by Greg Kagan. Thunderbirds regroup in their own zone. Ahead for Leung on the left side. Leung gains the zone, but gets a little far ahead of himself. Poke checked away into the corner out of harm's way. Connor Jensen has it. Tried to dish it along for Templeton, but instead it's picked off and slapped wide of the net. Back behind and picked up by Wenatchee now. Gage Ballard got it through center, and that got tipped away. Now Ballard has it again. He and Stenholm are there, but Stenholm was about a half a stride across, and he's going to get himself a 2-minute penalty for complaining about it, but from this vantage point, I thought he was offside. So another unsportsmanlike conduct call, and that will not make the Wenatchee coaches happy. 10:16, time of the call here. Seattle's 5th power play chance of the game. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of things that can happen in a hockey game, but when you shoot yourself in the foot taking 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in a game that you're really not out of, you're trailing 3-1 in the third, it just makes the hill that much harder to climb. Up through center, here's Cruz. Fair to say that he's cruising into the zone, I think, and get away with that. Up top for Hats. The lefty looks, moves it across. There's a shot blocked on the way through. Rebound, collected, swung around back behind by Wilmert. He's got a goal over to Hats. That shot blocked nicely by Cohen Wood. Weber over to help, but can't clear. Cruz up high, midpoint, spins around. Top of the far circle, that wrister blocked on the way through to the end wall. We're going to get a delayed penalty coming here, another one against Wenatchee. It's going to be a 5-on-3 power play coming up here momentarily. An interference call against the Wilderness, and the Wilderness just can't get out of their own way here in this period. Connor Jensen will go to the box. Interference at the 8:10 mark? No, 11:10. I'm usually pretty good at doing the math when it's 20 minutes, but when it's 18, it just throws me off. So for the next minute plus, it's going to be a 5-on-3 power play for the Thunderbirds. From behind their own net, they will advance. Their 6th power play of the game. They are 0 for 5. Well, 0 for 4 with 5 and 6 pending. There's Wilkinson at the midpoint. They'll work it over to the left side. There's a shot there. Save made by Landry, and he'll hang on. For Wenatchee, it's Pizzi and Anselmo. And Braden Snell, who are all out on this 5-on-3 penalty kill. To the right-hand side of the goaltender, Seattle with a clean face-off win. It's up top. Ivory saucers it over, top of the far circle. Whipped across to the right wing half wall. Back up top, midpoint, Ivory looks over the far circle, left side. Snell gets a stick on it. Not enough to clear. Seattle maintains possession. Up high, Freeman. Then given back across left side. Shot blocked on the way through. Rebound back across on a wide open side of the net, but it got blocked as Ivory was looking at all kinds of twine. And in the moment that he took the cock and load, that allowed Wenatchee to get in the way. Now it's a 5-on-4 as the penalty to Stenholm has been served. And still the penalty to Jensen pending. So 5-on-4 for the next 38 seconds. Seattle pressuring inside the Wenatchee zone. Over to the midpoint. And whiffing on the one-time attempt was Ivory down low on the left side. Puck takes a weird hop off the boards. Logan Weber can't control it. He fights for it on the backside. And tipped out in front by Seattle. Flung over and errantly, as it was intended, for Zeisel on the far side, but out of his reach, came all the way back down inside the Seattle zone. Forecheck pressure from Cohen Wood, and that forces Zeisel to turn back. Final seconds tick away, and the Wilderness able to dodge the bullets as they take 3 penalties here in the third period and kill them all off when they're really not any worse for the wear, still trailing 3-1. However, starting to run low on time with 4:30 to go here in the third period. Puck flicked along, comes back out to center, and Seattle launches it back in. Flat sides off the end boards. Cage Ballard was there. Gets help from Templeton. And we'll see if the Wilderness can pick up a little bit of a sense of urgency and gain some momentum from those successful penalty kills. Templeton gets a little help. Puck still alive. Back behind the net and a quick whistle. It was still loose, but the referee lost sight of it, thought that Liang had it covered, so the whistle sets up the face-off inside the Seattle zone, down to 4:01 to go here in the third. Young against Weber on the draw, and it's pulled around back behind. Trying to get a handle on it was Bacchus, but Seattle's able to knock it out to center. Cage Ballard grabs it there, hits the brakes, runs into traffic. Cohen Wood steps in, helps out, slaps it off the right wing boards in deep. And Seattle can't clear. Weber held it in. Summers to Weber, back across right side, and Wood had the pass in his ankles. He couldn't quite get the shot off. Sent away. Weber behind the net with it there. Works his way up the near side. Up top for Jensen. He winds, and that shot deflects up out of play as Cole Wilmert got in the way with it. Got a stick in the shooting lane and deflected it out of play. So Wilmert helping out on both ends right now. Wilmert's goal back in the first period, which was the second of the game, stands to be the game winner. If Seattle's able to hang on to this 3-1 lead with 3:23 to go. Pizzi takes the draw across from Cruz. And that'll be picked up by Ivory. Pitchfork the length of the ice. And icing will be called against Seattle here. We'll reset back inside the Thunderbird zone. So to the left-hand side of Grant Liang is where we'll drop the puck. Back to the right point, Wilderness control. They'll send it off the rail, rides around into the corner. Seattle gets help from Savage, and they're able to lift it out through. Braden Lutz chases it back down in his own end for Wenatchee. It's into the corner, off to the glove side of the goaltender. Up through center is Luke Pizzi. His pass ahead, broken up, and Cruz is back the other direction. Shot, nice shoulder save made, and another shot, tough angle. That goes wide, held in Ivory. Ivory over on the left side for Wolf. Wolf, nice dangle, dances in around Snell, works it back behind the net into the near corner, and then fed up the middle where it'll be picked up and played by Strider Ball. Got it out through center, but Wilkinson intercepts for Seattle, and they're back the other direction with 2:25 to go. However, it looks like maybe an offside call will bring us a stoppage here, late third period. First of 3 games between these two teams this weekend. Tonight, 7 p.m., tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. once again. Nick Goodmanson to take the draw for Seattle. Wins it back into their own zone. Matheson curls, bangs it off the wall to Freeman. Freeman reverses and gets it out through center. That'll be chased down by Goodmanson. We'll see if Wenatchee opts to pull a goaltender for the extra skater with a 2-goal deficit. So far, they've not. Of course, Seattle has had the pressure on. They've been unable to. Shot goes off the outside of the cage and has to be picked up. Not cleared, however, as it looked like Logan Weber might have an opportunity to take off with it. That puck hits a weird seam in front, hit the kick plate where the doors open, the Zamboni doors, and bounced out front. Having a look, Connor Jensen was looking to pick it up in stride, bounced out of his reach. Here's Cohen Wood on the left side. He's going to get forced wide by Matheson, but carries it around back behind the net. Still has it on the backhand, turns it down low for Templeton. Roman Templeton back behind the net. Wants to move it over to Pizzi. Now back up top to the point for Kindgren. And Kindgren works it down low. Up high for Ballard, right point. Ballard shot, blocked away. Loose in front, spinning around. Kagan's shot just went wide. Flung it around across the body and missed on the far side out past the outstretched gloved hand of Liang. In down low, shot again from a tough angle. That gets deflected, bounces, and stays alive. A wrap jam attempt is denied. Flung on net, Liang covers up. Well, that sense of urgency I was talking about for the Wilderness, it did show up. It's here. They are pushing and pressuring, but Seattle's been able to hold them at bay. And a timeout has been taken here by the Wilderness. They had pulled the goaltender for the extra skater. They'll have the empty net down in the Wenatchee end, 6 skaters on, as they look to try to erase a 2-goal deficit here in the third period with 56 seconds left on the clock. So here we go, 56 seconds left. Luke Busy will take the draw, the Wenatchee net empty. Off the draw, it's into the corner, Wood was there, Pizzi spins it back. Jensen gets a stick on it, it bounces down, and it's going to come out to center. And that'll be picked up, and Wenatchee back in. Pizzi had it, but that's broken up. Drove the length of the ice into the empty net. That'll put the finishing touch on that one. I believe it was Jason Dua. The puck was loose. It was inside his own zone. He just fired it right up the middle. Dead straight on. And Dua, with his second goal of the contest, makes it 4-1. Pretty much puts this one out of reach. 17-19, time of the goal for Dua into the empty net. And as the puck drops, Landry remained on the bench, but they waited to see which direction the face-off was going to go, but he ended up coming out. He's back in the net now. Templeton curls around behind the net, feeds it up top to the right point. Back down low. Templeton has it behind. Curls, hits the brakes, stops, reverses direction once again. This low to high up top for Bacchus. Bacchus zings it over to Strider Ball. That shot blocked on the way through. And Seattle transitions back the other direction. Bacchus broke up what could have been a 2-on-1 developing, but it's going to bring us to the final horn. And game 1 of this 3-game weekend series will go to the Seattle Sno-King Jr. Thunderbirds. Recapping the scoring back in the first period, Nick Savage got the party started at the 6:06 mark. Cole Wilmert made it 2-0 as Brendan Leon got the assist at 8:03. Jason Dua with a shot from the point at 8:08 of the second period. That made it 3-0 in favor of Seattle. Bobby Anselmo's power play goal for the Wilderness got Wenatchee on the board, but that was all the offense Wenatchee could muster. An empty net goal from Dua late in the third period provides the final margin of 4-1. Seattle ends up 0 for 6 on power play opportunities. Wenatchee went 1 for 4 with the man advantage in the contest. I don't have shots on goal totals or any of that, but what I can tell you is these two teams will be back here tonight at 7 p.m. for Game 2 of this 3-game weekend set. Thanks for tuning in and joining us here on our YouTube broadcast, and we'll talk to you again soon. Wenatchee Wilderness Hockey, I'm Arch Ecker. Thanks for watching.